is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Travis Fortnum. A Windsor teacher has been suspended after admitting to professional misconduct, including failing to report an allegation raised by a 12-year-old student. Here's Michelle Molesky with those details.
Rusty William Gertson admitted to 3 acts of dishonorable and unprofessional conduct to the Ontario College of Teachers. Rusty Gertson failed to admit he was having personal conversations with a 12-year-old student over social media. He also failed to tell his superiors those conversations were happening in the summer, and he never reported the student complained to him about an alleged rape. Teachers are legally expected to report to parents, the board, and Children's Aid if a student is at risk or has been hurt. The lawyer for the college did tell the discipline committee the conversations were not sexual in nature. Allegations that Gertson spent time alone with female students was withdrawn. Gertson's lawyer said it was the student who initiated the conversations and the student who suggested the thread be deleted. Gertson was reprimanded, suspended from work for 2 months, and ordered to take training on boundaries, ethics, and reporting responsibilities within 90 days. The media is prohibited from reporting any details which may identify the student involved in this matter, and the school where Gertson was teaching at the time of the allegations did not come up during today's hearing. Both the union as well as the Public School Board declined to comment. Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
A provincial bill to restructure conservation authorities prompted a rally in Windsor tonight. The legislation would cut 36 authorities down to 7, shifting control to the province. Critics say it was rushed and could mean job losses and less local say. CTV's Sanjay Maru reports.
Keep conservation local. The key message of this rally centered around Bill 68, legislating the consolidation of Ontario's 36 conservation authorities into 7 larger regional bodies. That includes the Essex Region Conservation Authority, which would be folded into a new Lake Erie Regional Conservation Authority, stretching from Windsor, Essex and Pelee Island into southwestern Ontario.
We're out here mainly about jobs. 4,000 people across the province of Ontario don't know what's happening to their jobs next year. We haven't been told. There doesn't seem to be a plan, and we're very concerned.
The president of CUPE Local 3784, which represents workers with IRCA, says there are few details about how the amalgamation would work, and she also worries a larger regional authority could weaken local decision-making.
Developers who come in will want to sit down and talk about their projects. Do they have to travel to London to do that now, Kitchener to do that now, and what's the responsiveness going to be like? Where down here we can address those problems directly because we know the area. MPP Andrew Dowie, whose office served as the backdrop for Friday's rally, was not there, but says he's already met with critics and passed concerns on to the province.
I've also picked up the phone and called numerous people, particularly board members and those in the community who have expressed concerns. I've never, ever told them I'm not listening. I am listening. So I don't understand the rationale for being out there today.
The purpose of this is actually not just for him. It is for the public to understand that they are going to lose their local voice.
The Ontario government says this restructuring is aimed at streamlining services, cutting red tape, and helping get homes built faster while still protecting watersheds. Windsor's mayor weighing in this week.
Whether we agree with that decision or not, at least it shows an openness to look at efficiency.
Windsor City Council had previously passed a motion calling on the province to withdraw the Conservation Authority sections of Bill 68 and allow for full public consultation.
Some of the risky pieces, I think, is really what we're concerned about, are addressed, and perhaps there can be some changes made at that level.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Ontario's Integrity Commissioner is investigating Labour Minister David Piccini over the controversial $2.5 million Skills Development Fund. As CTV's John Woodward reports, the investigation follows complaints from both the NDP and the Liberals.
That deep dive is coming.
A deep dive, says Ontario Liberal MPP Stephanie Smythe, into Labour Minister David Piccini and his oversight of the province's controversial $2.5 billion jobs training fund.
If I were the minister right now, I'd be a little a little concerned.
Concerned as the province's Integrity Commissioner, Catherine Motherwell, took up Smyth's complaint about Piccini and another complaint by the NDP to see whether Piccini contravened sections of the Act and Ontario parliamentary conventions in selecting applicants to rounds 4 and 5 of the Skills Development Fund. This isn't the first time a legislature watchdog has taken a look at the Skills Development Fund. In October, the Auditor General found that the administration of almost $750 million was done in a way that was not transparent, fair, or accountable. The web of apparently connected lobbyists and companies getting millions in grants so tangled, the Ontario Liberals put it on a whiteboard.
Everywhere I go, people are saying to me, this smells fishy.
Piccini today posting a photo of himself with a grant recipient as the Premier was asked about the development at a news conference in Buffalo.
Well, I know he'll cooperate with the Integrity Commissioner. We've invested $2.5 billion. We've trained over 750,000 people.
One of those companies, Keel Digital Solutions, already under investigation by the OPP for a contract with another ministry. Piccini was photographed at rinkside seats with one company director and attended a Paris wedding with a company lobbyist. Keel has said it's just being scapegoated, but with so many connections to the halls of power, one watchdog says the OPP should refer its probe to the RCMP.
I think there's a systemic conflict of interest.
The OPP told CTV News at this stage in the investigation, no potential perceived conflict of interest has been identified. If such a conflict is identified during the course of the investigation, the OPP will take appropriate steps to determine whether the matter should be referred to another investigating agency.
We don't know how long this will take, but we do know that one way or other, the truth will come out.
The opposition settling down for a long haul. When the last Integrity Commissioner looked into a previous scandal around the Greenbelt, that report took about 8 months. 2 ministers and 4 staff members resigned. The RCMP probe there is still ongoing. John Woodward, CTV News.
And the province has signed a new agreement with New York State focused on nuclear power.
This deal will see Ontario share our world-class expertise in large-scale reactors, as well as the small modular reactors with the great state of New York. As part of our deal, Ontario Power Generation and New York Power Authority will work together on developing an implementation of advanced nuclear technology. I always say it's safe, number one, it's clean, it's green, it's reliable, and it's cost affordable.
As you heard the Premier say there, the agreement sets out how Ontario and New York will work together on nuclear projects, including both large reactors and small modular reactors. It also calls for talks on expanding trade and possible joint projects, with both sides saying the goal is to support jobs in each jurisdiction. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister confirms Canada will launch formal trade talks with the U.S. in January. Washington's trade representative says key sticking points include Canadian policies on dairy, alcohol, and digital services, but Mark Carney says those issues are part of a much broader conversation about the future of continental trade. And a new report from the Canada Border Services Agency shows hundreds of employees were tied to confirmed misconduct last year. The agency's first annual misconduct and wrongdoing report says 259 of 364 investigations in the 2024-25 fiscal year were founded, meaning supported by credible evidence. CBSA says the report is meant to boost transparency and public trust, and that every founded case led to corrective or disciplinary action. Well, that was the scene in Windsor's core earlier today. A one-block stretch of Marintet Avenue now has a new honorary name, Chaldean Way, recognizing one of Windsor's fastest-growing communities. An estimated 25,000 to 30,000 now call Windsor home, up from about only 1,000 in the late 1990s. Community leaders say the designation is about visibility, belonging, and pride.
We are very happy on this day when the mayor and our councillor of Windsor City to know what we do for the city. Engineer, they are doctors, they are accountant, they have superstore here. So what we do to the city, and that's why they give us this name. So we feel very happy for this occasion.
And Windsor City Council has approved the mandatory dissolution of Roseland Golf Club Limited following changes to provincial legislation. The transition must be completed by October 2026. Oversight of Roseland Golf Course and Little River Golf Course will move to the city's Community Services Division, with staff becoming city employees. Officials say golf operations and services will continue without interruption. There is new investment activity in the Chatham Street area downtown. Work continues on a boutique hotel inside the old Paul Martin building. The project has many wondering about the future of the downtown library. CTV's Bob Belichico explains.
What will be the fate of the downtown library once construction is done on the Paul Martin building?
We're in no rush to leave, as far as I'm concerned, as a board member.
One of the options on the table is to remain inside the Paul Martin building even after their lease expires in a couple of years.
But if it comes down to getting the boutique hotel open sooner, I would be more than happy to have that conversation.
City Councillor Ronaldo Agostino says no matter what, the library has to remain downtown and in the core. There are options, and if the stars align, he would like to see it next to City Hall in the Ontario Tourism Information Centre.
I think as a board member, as a downtown councillor, my vision would certainly align greatly with what the mayor's looking at doing on that corner right there, to have a brand new central branch library right in the heart of downtown Windsor.
There is still a lot of work to do inside the Paul Martin building.
It's had its challenges in some of the design phase, but we're getting through it.
That's developer Rob Myers giving CTV News a quick update on the progress of his boutique hotel in the Paul Martin building. Despite some unexpected challenges, Myers says he is thrilled with the beauty of the building. He suspects the hotel will be close to finished in a year from now.
We're not in a panic to get it done. We just want to make sure when we get it done, it's very well done.
That excitement is already providing a shift in the general area. According to Agostino, there has been some investment happening leading up to the opening of the boutique hotel.
At one point in time, it was a thriving area for upscale stuff, and that's on its way back.
Agostino wasn't at liberty to say who and how many invested, but says more is coming.
You look at the securities building turning into a residential tower soon, a brand new cafe opening on the corner there. So you can see a lot of things. There's some action happening there, and I think the boutique hotel is going to be, in many ways, that'll be the finish line.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Well, for many families, today marks the start of the holiday break, and Canadian Blood Services is hoping some of that time goes toward saving lives. As CTV's Stephanie Mazzotti reports, the need for donors doesn't take a holiday.
I don't produce everything that I need to keep my immune system strong.
This is Sabrina Canella, a recipient of plasma donations.
I receive IVIG from a whole bunch of donors, and every 4 weeks I get an immune system in a bottle, and it helps me to fight.
She is one of many Canadians in continuous need to live what she considers a normal life, thanks to donors like Holly Dougal, who is rolling up her sleeve for the 26th time.
Well, I do try to do it every couple of weeks. Someone near and dear to me receives blood products on a regular basis. It's an easy thing to do.
She says the process of giving back is simple.
It is a nice way to give without necessarily having to make a financial contribution in a very meaningful way.
The Canadian Blood Services says Windsorites always step up.
Yeah, this is one of our best weeks ever. We're at 300 plus appointments. We're just asking the public, if you're off and you're able to come donate, please come see us. And it's a way to give back that doesn't cost you anything.
But donations are needed year-round.
Look, as an organization, we're looking for 1 million new donors in the next 5 years. That's because of our, aging and growing population. Yeah, we encourage people to come out in groups. It's a way to, get together and give back to your community. You'll walk out of here, you'll experience what you get when you give, and you'll feel good.
Knowing you are helping recipients like Canella.
I'm so grateful. I really am.
Stephanie Mazzotti, CTV News.
CTV weather specialist Rita Ismail has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
I don't have no retirement saving. Everything is gone.
And still ahead, a cautionary tale after an Ontario woman loses it all. Why AI means you need to be extra careful how you invest. CTV weather specialist Rita Ismail is here with our first look at the weather. Rita, some flurries through the day today.
Yeah, definitely a big change right across the region today. Our high 5 degrees, but we actually reached that around 1 a.m. Since then, our temperatures have tumbled. -6 is the low, and of course, reaching that earlier this evening. Normal this time of year, 1 and -5, but that's all irrelevant because nothing makes sense. Record high 13 degrees in 1957. You can see some flurries are starting to taper off as we head into the night. They were fairly strong throughout the afternoon as those winds kicked up out of the west, about 40 to 60 km/h winds. It was all a part of this big low pressure system that pushed through yesterday evening, and along the warm front boundaries we had rainfall. That low pressure system moving out, and along the cold front we saw some snowfall in behind it, the strong winds and the flurry. So it all falls into place. The cold air mass lingering tonight into tomorrow. We are tracking this next weather maker that will push through Saturday, but it doesn't appear to impact us here in Windsor. If you do have plans to drive along the 401 corridor into London or perhaps Toronto, you do need to make a note of that. So mostly cloudy heading into the night. Tomorrow morning we'll wake up nice mix of sun and cloud early Saturday morning, but then there's that cold front sweeping through. It's not packing a lot of moisture, but it will set up strong winds in behind it and colder air once again. So the chance for flurries is definitely there for Sunday morning. Tomorrow, though, it should be pleasant in terms of drier conditions, although cold start to the day at -6 and then feeling close to -12, -14 with the wind chill. We are expecting a sun cloud mix throughout the afternoon, and then the winds shift. They'll be out of the southwest, 30 to 50 km/h heading into Sunday. Another day of mix of sun and cloud, -6. Again, the chance for those flurries to kick up, the probability on the lower end for your Sunday, but still there, something to keep note of. And then we warm right back up. A bit of a weird pattern developing here, sort of similar to what we dealt with the last couple of days. We have evening snow on Monday with the passage of a system. With that system will come warm air, and we'll bump up to 9 degrees on Tuesday, switching over to showers Tuesday morning. And behind it, we remain on the mild side, 4 degrees on Wednesday. And right now, we're calling for 10 degrees. That's right, 10 degrees for Christmas Day. So the good news there is that if you are traveling, we're not going to be dealing with snow or icy conditions. The bad news is there's a chance for some showers on Christmas Day, and I know that's not ideal for the folks who are hoping for a white Christmas, but you know what? We'll take the balmy 10 degrees if it means safe travels. Travis?
Thank you, Rita. Did you get any Christmas shopping done today? If so, you're not alone. The Friday before Christmas is said to be the busiest shopping day of the year. Interact expects nearly 25 million debit transactions today. Most spending is forecast at fast food, grocery, and discount stores, with higher prices pushing Canadians to shop more cautiously. But with last-minute gifts still to buy, local crowds are expected locally at Devonshire Mall all weekend. For more on that, here's CTV's Chris Campbell.
The final weekend before the holiday is shaping up to be one of the busiest of the year. Devonshire Mall is seeing heavy foot traffic.
We're looking at extremely busy. The last weekend of Christmas is the busiest shopping days of the year normally, other than Boxing Day. So today we're seeing a pretty good crowd coming here already.
Some shoppers say they're nearly done, while others admit they're still scrambling.
I am 100% done my Christmas shopping.
I got a few more things to get. I got like 5 kids, so I'm a last-minute shopper.
I am just starting.
I'm almost done. We're just about finished.
The mall says it's also seeing more cross-border traffic, with the exchange rate continuing to draw American shoppers looking for deals.
The tenants are really noticing it, so they're taking advantage of it. And especially now with everybody trying to pinching the last dollar a little bit, with the way the economy is a little bit right now. I mean, it's really helping to save.
Marketing manager Tina Asbrakis tells CTV News gift cards remain a popular fallback, especially for kids and teens, and they have no expiry date. She notes foot traffic is up 3% compared to this time last year, and reminds shoppers to slow down.
Just be prepared, calm down, and just remember it's Christmas. Christmas is supposed to be fun. I know that shopping can be hectic. You will get your list done. take your time, especially when you're driving into the shopping center, and just get that list ready to go. And if you have any questions, you can always ask guest services. They always have some good ideas.
Research from Interact predicts nearly 25 million debit transactions today, the most for a single day in 2025. Most of those purchases are expected at fast food restaurants, grocery stores, and discount stores. The spending snapshot also found higher costs, meaning Canadians are shopping with more caution this year.
Know what you want to buy. It's actually quite pleasant. The parking lot is kind of a nightmare, but other than that,
This isn't bad at all. Even Costco wasn't too bad. And that was a trip.
I don't know if I believe you on that one. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index was up on strength in the base metal and technology sectors. In Toronto, the TSX gained 315 points, and in New York, the Dow added 183, while the Nasdaq is up 301. The Canadian dollar lost 0.04 of a cent today, and on commodity markets, gold gained almost $23 an ounce, and oil is up 52 cents a barrel. CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. A W5 investigation has found Canadians are being aggressively targeted by fake AI-generated videos promoting cryptocurrency scams. As CTV's Pat Foran reports, by the time some investors realize it, they've lost their entire life savings.
How did you feel when they said you're going to have to sell your house to get your money back?
Heartbroken. I was broken into pieces.
A woman we'll call Denise of Markham, Ontario, asked us not to reveal her identity as she is devastated and embarrassed to have lost her life savings in a cryptocurrency scam. In July of 2023, she was on Facebook when she saw a story featuring billionaire Elon Musk saying she could get rich fast.
Millions of users were able to close all their debts in the first week on the platform.
It said that you just have to invest $250 and you get on his platform and you're going to make money daily.
Denise sent $250 to what she thought was Musk's platform. 2 days later, she received what she was told was $30 US in profit. Convinced it wasn't a scam, she was told if she invested more, she would make more.
And they keep calling me and telling me that people are making so much money and that if you put more, and I said, okay.
Denise decided to go all in and took out a second mortgage on her home.
I applied for almost $1 million on the equity in my home. I took it out and I started sending it to them, right? Like $350,000, $350,000.
After investing $1.2 million, she thought it had grown to over $3 million. But when she tried to take money out, she was told she needed to pay taxes and fees. She borrowed another $500,000 from family and friends and maxed out credit cards. In the end, she was scammed out of $1.7 million.
I don't have no retirement saving. Everything is gone.
There are fake AI-generated cryptocurrency videos featuring former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
We have developed an investment platform.
And current Prime Minister Mark Carney.
Make your initial deposit. You could invest in it for as little as $250.
Donald Hanrahan of Charlottetown PEI was online when he saw a story about investing in cryptocurrencies promoted by Dragon's Den. The show currently has a warning online saying it was targeted by a number of fake advertisements on Facebook. Hanrahan started investing with small amounts, but eventually put in everything he had.
I was getting at one point about 10,000 Canadian per day, okay? And it eventually, it added up to $600,000.
When Hanrahan tried to remove his funds, he couldn't and realized he'd been scammed out of the entire amount.
I was, scammed by professional people. That doesn't give you much consolation when you've lost all that money.
According to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, Canadians lost $1.2 billion to investment scams over the past 3 years. That's only what's been reported, so it's expected it's much higher. Most involve cryptocurrencies and fake AI-generated videos.
It's really hard to know what's real now because this technology is so sophisticated now that it's really nearly impossible to know what is real and what is fake in some cases.
Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse?
Oh, it's going to get worse.
Pat Foran, CTV News, Toronto.
Rita is back with one last look at the forecast. And Rita, if the rain holds up, people might be barbecuing on Christmas Day.
I know, it seems that way, doesn't it? Tomorrow, 3 degrees. And again, like you said, warming up for the later half of next week. -6 on Sunday, a bit of both this weekend in terms of our temperatures. We are expecting to climb to 3 on Saturday and then a cold start to your day on Sunday as well. Monday, the 1 degree mark. -7 early Monday morning. Evening snow is there. Heading into Tuesday, switching over to showers. And then we have that balmy 10 degrees forecast for Christmas Day. Mostly cloudy conditions. The chance for some passing showers is there as Santa Claus comes down the chimney. And then Friday for Boxing Day, dry conditions, 6 degrees. So if you were hoping for that white Christmas, it's not in this forecast. Travis?
Thank you, Rita. Well, as we've made sure you know tonight, Christmas is under a week away, and a baby from Northern Ontario is right in the spirit, going viral for joining her mom in the Christmas choir. Here's CTV's Madison Merrier.
Bernard Lafontaine posted a video for friends and family, and over 6 million views later, she's getting calls from around the world.
Sweden, Italy, there's liaisons from the USA that are working with People Magazine and USA Today. And Brazil has been really, really big because Senna is named after Ayrton Senna.
Little Senna appears to be singing along as the choir performs, and her mother is not surprised as music is a big part of her family's life.
Both my husband and I are very musically inclined, and so are her grandparents and her great-grandparents. So I think probably just from the womb, always hearing music and just being the happy baby that she is, I think music will run in her blood.
Lafontaine said she posted a video of the choir's performance as a preview to their big show.
We go to choir practice together, and she loves it. We bring her little play mat, and she'll just be babbling and cooing. And yeah, she loves choir.
She only noticed Senna cooing after the song was finished, and when Lafontaine watched the video, she thought it was a great reflection of her happy baby.
The video that you're seeing is just literally how she is on a day-to-day basis. We're blessed with a very happy baby.
Lafontaine hopes the video brings people some Christmas cheer and inspires new parents to continue going out and doing the things they love.
I hope that this inspires also some parents that are on maternity leave or that are home with their child to just go out there and do things, and that the community does support bringing your child and not to be afraid and stay home.
Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
That's our time for tonight. We hope to see you back here on Monday. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Have a great weekend.